Well, good morning from Southwest Michigan. Today's project is a real simple stripped down version of upgrading an RV's electrical system. Today's project, we're taking a 34-foot fifth wheel and we're putting lithium ion batteries in and a small inverter. We're not doing solar or any of this other stuff. Let me touch that up. And the purpose of doing what we're doing is our friends and family members here, Pam and Russ, when they go camping, sometimes they need to lay over for a day someplace to do a little dry camping somewhere, and they just don't need to have all the solar panels. They have a home base that they have, and they have a place that they keep their RV that stays plugged in, so there's really no benefit of taking and putting 1,000 2,000 watts of solar on the top, because most of the time they're plugged in, and they have a tiny generator if things got out of hand and they needed the power. So in this project, we're going to show you how to just put an inverter and batteries in and skip all the other nonsense that all the social media platforms are trying to sell you, because depending on the type of camping you do, you really don't need to spend thousands and thousands of dollars on this. Pick you up a couple of lithium batteries, you got a small inverter so your plugs are hot, and go enjoy the dirt road someplace. Go have some fun. You don't need to spend all that money. So that's what today's video is all about. Today's video is going to be putting a very simple, low-cost lithium-ion battery in an application without the solar, without all the big, gigantic social media stuff that you need, because you really don't. Get a couple of good quality batteries and a small inverter and get out there and go camping. So that's what we're doing today. We're gonna hook this up and we're gonna show you how this works out. And hopefully this will help you make your decisions of what you need for camping. So, all right, well, let's get started. Thank you. We appreciate you tuning in. Hey, welcome back to the channel. So here's a few things you're going to need for this project. And by the way, everything we got for this project we got off of Amazon. You can find it in multiple places, but we used Amazon because everything was quick ship. And to be honest with you, there were some things on sale, so who doesn't like that? The one thing I didn't mention on this list is you'll need a transfer switch, and we will show you that in the video right up close. The transfer switch is necessary when you switch from shore power to off-grid mode. You want to have that separation, and you want it to be automatic. Here's the rig, a really nice fifth wheel. I believe this is a 2015 model. And we just want to add a little boondocking package to it. And this thing has a big front bay that was perfect for this. So unboxing the battery is just like any other boring thing to do. When you open it up, you just want to make sure there's no damage to the battery, and this company goes a little extra with the double box, and it has foam packaging inside, so very good packaging on GOLDENMATE side. Incredibly lightweight battery. It's half the weight of the flooded lead acid battery that it's replacing, and it has twice the amount of power. Each battery has twice the amount of capacity as a flooded lead acid. These charge at 50 amps and they have a 100 amp constant discharge rate. Really good battery. This is our transfer switch. It's on Amazon, as I mentioned. A really good quality transfer switch that makes a seamless transition from shore power to battery. This is the inverter we use. I happen to like the Renogy. Never had a problem with them, and I recommend them to all my friends. Here's our open bay where we had just an abundant amount of room to hook this stuff up. I mean, look at this. Talk about a huge storage cabinet. So after we figured out what we wanted to do here, there was a couple of things we couldn't get on Amazon. I'm sure you might be able to, but it would just made more sense to go to Lowe's for a couple pieces of conduit, some screws to connect everything up, and the backer board, which in this case is plywood. Here's where the guys are doing the layout, and what we wanted to do was plan this out so that we only made one cut with a saw, and we had a good product to go inside that wasn't all hacked up. After multiple trips and discussions, we figured out all the things that had to happen, and we finally got this board ready to go. What we didn't show off camera was taking the panel inside, and we got a little paint on it so that when we put it up it would look really good. As you can see, there are many ways you can have these batteries in here. In our particular application, we have them turned the opposite direction to save space, but to have shorter cable runs, which are important. The longer the cable runs, the higher the voltage drop can be. So you will notice in the final video that that's not where the inverter ended up. Like I said, you're going to move this around a few times, trial and error, to figure out what works for you. And here's when we started laying things up on the panel and putting single screws in and saying what if, and move this way a little bit and move it that way a little bit, and eventually you'll get there. So as you can see, things are starting to take their place with a little bit of planning and a whole lot of error. Hydraulic lug crimper. Man, this is a must-have. And when you get your lugs crimped, you want to get everything filed and cleaned, and the last step is to wipe it down with alcohol so there's no residue left on these lugs. You definitely have to have heat shrink sleeving so that it is an airtight connection so you don't have oxidation between the cable and the lug. Cleanliness is everything when it comes to copper lugs. So after we got everything up here and torqued down and double checked, we went ahead and ran the charge overnight because we want these batteries to be fully charged and we want the cells to settle down together and balance. And that's a whole nother topic from another video. But after it's balanced out, all the cells are working on the same page here. So here we are first thing in the morning, and we're finally ready to put some load on these batteries and see how they run. Be sure to use the chapter markers because it will help you come back if there's something you needed to look at. I'll try to do my best to put these markers up for you. take a look and see if you notice my rookie error. Yep, some of you might have already saw that. That red wire right there is supposed to be down at the end of the arrow, so we'll have to move that so that the battery power is shared equally in both batteries that are in parallel. An easy fix. Alright, so we're using a Renogy battery meter, just because that's what we had. And I moved this up to 210 amp hours so we get a good scale so we could see everything before the inverter taps out. So that's what we're starting with. Fresh batteries, fresh charge, cells overnight, should have balanced. And we are starting the load right now. So the inverter's on, DC lights are on, and now we're starting to add things such as the fireplace, a couple of exhaust fans, every light. I think we had the coffee pot on for a while. You know, we have to have coffee. And we let everything crank up. As you'll see the amp meter on here, we were between 1450 watts all the way up to 2000 watts at times. But we wanted to put a good size load in this to also be able to check the lugs and cables for hot spots. So here we go. Now you can see we're cooking. And we added a whole bunch of fans to the equation here. We wanted to really put a load on this system to help us give a good measure of how much these batteries are going to be able to handle. So we let some time go by, and I decided to do a time lapse with the GoPro. And of course, we were just sitting in lawn chairs letting this thing run. And the little meter below where it says 54%, that's the time remaining at that current load. We're seeing we're at 2000 watts, and you know we're way along in our test here. I believe the inverter kicks out at 10.6 or 10.7 volts when the inverter shuts down to protect your batteries. So we let this thing run for quite a while under load, and we did find a lug that has to be taken off and checked again. It was a little warmer than the others. Well, we are getting down to the end of this, and as you can see with the TV Magic, we were able to speed the film up to make it easier for you to see. But we pulled 210 amp hours out of this battery cells, and we still had juice at the end. The inverter kicked out as it's supposed to. So very happy. These batteries get a very good thumbs up from me. They did exactly what they're supposed to do. So in the description, I'll try to link some of these parts to make it easy for you if you're out looking for these. I do have a affiliate link where you can get a discount on these batteries. I'll put that in the description as well. On the website, you can see they make a wide range of different batteries, much larger and much smaller. But so far, this battery is fantastic, and I think the other ones will probably be no less than that. If you hung in there this long, we certainly appreciate you watching our videos, and please give a like and subscribe so we can bring more of this type of stuff to you. And as always, again, thank you for watching. We appreciate you.